All right, welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a black light spray paint art painting. I'm going to be using Montana water-based 300 fluorescent colors, but you can use any fluorescent or neon spray paint art colors or airbrush colors that you like to make this. And we're going to be using the very cool techniques of spray paint art. So the classic spray paint art is the planets, and to do that we're going light to dark. Now I'm going to put one planet in front of another right there in the center. So I've got some white down. Wherever I want a planet, I lay down some white, and then I'm putting some colors over it. I'm trying to make my planets a little bit different colors. It really works well if the planets that are in the distance are cooler colors and the planets that are closer are warmer colors, because then they really look bright. I mean, you don't have to do it that way, but it's one way of getting a really intense sense of perspective in your sky. So I brush my newspaper over my planets to create some texture. And then I'm adding in some colors below where my land is going to go. Now there's going to be some pyramids over there on the left side. So I'm brushing my newspaper across it, but if I want more texture, I can add a little bit of white and brush again. Now I go much slower in the tutorials that are on spraypaintartsecrets.com and show you every detail, but this tutorial should really get you started, and anyone who really wants to make blacklight painting can get far with this. So to put one planet in front of another, what I did was I used a CD to cover up the larger planet there, and then on top of that I put like a jar cap, and I can make one of those planets in the front and one of those planets in the back depending on where the shading is. And I covered up all my planets with some caps, and then I sprayed black everywhere I want the universe to go. And if I was using a transparent kind of a paint, I would have first sprayed white anywhere I want light, but since this Montana paint is rather thick, I just sprayed my colors on, and I use, all of these are fluorescent and neon colors. I put a little fluorescent green, a little fluorescent blue, a little fluorescent yellow, and some white in the sky. Now, to make my pyramids, I'm going to take off my corners of poster board that I put there one by one and just hold them in the same angle for all of them and spray a little black along that line. And I can get those pyramids. And then to create some land, I spray a little black over the colors I've already laid down. And if it's dry, you can put a little, I put water on because my paints are water-based, or Windex, but if you're using regular spray paint, we'll use clear, transparent clear. And anywhere I draw with my newspaper, I can create land by digging in. I'm really digging in, using the fingers that are inside that newspaper to create the land. And then with my palette knife, I can go in there and draw some cities, scrape off some paint. Now with the water-based paint, you don't tend to scrape all the way down to the paper. The first color you lay on there is what you're going to see. So the first color I laid down there was yellow. So when I scrape, I'm getting some yellow. Now I like to make mist. I'm using a little fluorescent pink to make some mist there and make some more land in front. If I want some domes, I can fold some poster board over and spray in it with a little bit of white or a bright color. Maybe I want a few accents on top of those pyramids. I can put the paper down and spray on top of that point of the corner of paper, and I get a little highlight there. Now I spend a lot of time on my details. If you really want a nice painting, it's these final details which make the difference, that makes a difference. So you can put the planets back on and spray a little bit of color behind the planet. You can add comets by folding the poster board in two and spraying into that folded paper. And you can add little streams of light coming out of the domes, maybe some dots of light of different colors. I like to go back again and again and again and make circles and circles and circles around those glowing lights that I created, and you'll see how that works in just a minute. And I like to tease out the beautiful effects. So if I've got a nice effect coming out of that pyramid, like a line of light, well, I may go back and just subtly add just a tiny bit more. I like to use a sheet of circles that I've cut out of a heavy sheet of poster board or of plastic paper to create little rings and glowing areas around some of those lights. Now I added a little dot of light, little white, little yellow, and I let it dry, and then I'm going back in there with my circle cut out, and I can make a little planet there so that I actually have 3 planets on top of each other. And if I want to add another one, I can do that with my circle cutouts. A little color on one side, a little black on the other side, a little white on the light side, and brush over it with your newspaper and add a little white and a little dark, light and shadow, and you got another planet. Anywhere you want it, you can add those details. And with these black light paintings, those details, you never know what's going to pop out when you turn the black light on. So we're going to do that as soon as I finish this, and you'll see what details pop out. And I'm adding actually some domes with my circle cutouts as well. I can just spray around half of that to create a dome, or you can see I made like a little glowing star off to the right. Those are circle cutouts. So I'm just teasing out the details. Anywhere I want a little light, a little detail, a little star in the sky, a little extra light shooting out of the pyramid, just making sure it's all the way I like it. Maybe a little yellow tint. When we turn the black light on, what you're going to see is that the fluorescent colors are what you really see. And a lot of the detail that we're adding in white is actually going to fade out into the distance. So this will give you an idea about what you want to focus on when you're making these black light paintings. Make sure there's some nice bright areas that have color, not just white, if you really want these to pop. And your stars in the sky don't have to be white. I'm adding some pink stars, and those are going to show up in the black light much more than the white ones will. So if you're working with black light, add some fluorescent color and neon stars in the sky for sure. And put a little dot of white in the center or a little dot of yellow in the center of each of those stars. That way they're going to look like a small little glowing star instead of just a diffuse little light area. So now we've got our black light on, and you can see what places are glowing and what places are a little bit more opaque. A lot of the white, again, we don't even see it. A lot of the bright colors, we can really see that. So I hope you've enjoyed this and that you give black light spray paint art or just regular spray paint art a try. Come to spraypaintartsecrets.com and get another free lesson and some cool free stuff like a free materials list. And check out all the amazing stuff that you can learn. Do what you want to do. See you there. Ciao.